Hi, beloveds. I'm Tanya Melendez, intuitive spiritual counselor, award winning psychic medium, and best selling author. And I want to share with you what I deem our sixth sense summer. By now, you are definitely feeling all of the cosmic vibes that have been stirring and churning within us, showing us our ebbs, our flows, our light, and our dark. And now more than ever, we're tuning in at a higher and different frequency. Why? Because the world of AI is upon us. So let's dive in. Over the course of this summer, I'll be sharing with you different topics that have to do with our sixth sense, including the moon, what I also call lunifesting, learning to use the power of the moon. I'll be sharing with you what to do during the solstice, what not to do, and so many different types of things. Sixth sensory experience for me is such a gift, but it's also so incredibly natural for me. And so I want to show you how you can start to embrace your intuitive sixth sense now. When we think about it, beloveds, our ancient ancestors, the ones that we're so most curious about, myself included, the ancient Kemets and Egyptians, had some of the most advanced technology of that time. However, they were taken over by greed and materialism, and all of their spiritual practices were lost. And yet they are so strong that they have remained for us to see and wonder. What were they trying to say? There's even hieroglyphics they show of actual, it looks like helicopters. Now, how could they have known thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago that in one day we would have helicopters? And so now that we're in this age of Aquarius experience, beloveds, it's important that we recognize the importance of our intuition, telepathic experiences, ESP, and beyond. Now, during Gemini season, going into Cancer season, the most intuitive time, Gemini is the energy of communication. We're seeing an extreme experience of extraterrestrial phenomenon. 3 years ago, in my predictions and prophecies, I talked about all of this upcoming psychic phenomenon coming from up there and down there. So not only are we starting to hear and understand and recognize and know that there is direct communication coming from above, hello Gemini season, as well as unearthing of so many new things. Every week they're unearthing something new. Just last week I found a new article about a woman on a beach who found it looked like some piece of jewelry from the goddess Hathor. So not only is there an unearthing of things, the goddess, the divine feminine, is rising. Why is all of this occurring now during the age of Aquarius, during this Gemini season? We're getting all of this because it's time for us to recognize that when AI takes over, we're going to need to use our intuition because we won't be able to have access to certain things. And the way that we communicate now, we'll have to go back to the ways that our ancestors communicated. And this is why I specialize, and I am absolutely the best at accessing your Akashic library, not just your records, but your Akashic library. I also support you in karmic and ancestral and generational healing, because this is where most of us don't recognize that what keeps us stuck in this life can be residual energy. This is why clearing our karma is so important. I love to connect with the Afro-Indigenous healing practices and spiritual healing of Ma'at and so many other Afro-Indigenous practices. And so as an intuitive spiritual healer and spiritual coach, we have to recognize that this intuition is coming to us now more importantly and more clear because it is necessary. Don't you feel right now your intuition is trying to tell you something? Pay attention to your animals. Look at what the earth is telling us. Right now on the outsides of in the oceans, there's two cyclones coming, which means there is whirls and whirls of energy, of water energy, which is what? Mother Earth. She's creating cyclones. What do cyclones do? They create wind and air and change, very much like the swords in tarot. And so your sixth sense summer is all about recognizing the signs and the synchronicities and the symbols that are starting to come up for us now. And also, do you remember before there was ever a Google, you had to look things up? You had to go to the library and look them up. And this is why being the Black Psychic Librarian for me is not just about book selections or the amazing book astrology. Did you check yours for June yet? You'll have a beautiful astrological stack based on your horoscope based on your astrology by the end of the year if you follow each one. And so, it's important that we start to recognize that the gifts that we have, the insights that we have, is natural, it is instinctual, it's intuitive, and it is our true place of our imagination as well as our inspiration. And so, this sixth sense summer, I want you to pay attention to all of the signs and the symbols that you're recognizing out there in the world, as well as what's going on in here. Are you ready for your sixth sense summer, beloved? We've got so much in store for you. So pay attention to the signs. Be tuned in. And if you know you want to work more connected and want to be more connected to the cosmos, I invite you to join us in the Lunarly. This subscription is where I share insights and inspiration with you every week, as well as what the moon is doing. That's why it's called the Lunarly. It's all things about the moon. We've got so much coming up for you this summer, including make sure you connect and join us for the upcoming Embrace Your Soft Life Superpower that's coming up next week on the solstice. So make sure you click the links in bio so you don't miss a thing. Now, again, what is your intuition trying to tell you? In the next episode, I'll be diving into psychic seaports. I'll see you then. And until then, next time, beloveds, Ashe, Amin, and so it is.